maybe, we really are. Maybe there is something happening where the Earth is traveling through a certain part of the universe, where our consciousness is something's being impacted at a fundamental level. I don't know. I know a lot of people believe something like that is happening. But I do believe that we are on the verge, as the John Rappaport fictional account suggested, that I believe we are on the verge of experiencing a shift. We're becoming aware that, for one thing, we've been lied to for a very, very long time about many essential aspects of our lives and how we've been governed. So I believe we're probably on very deep levels sorting through some different ideas to determine whether they're true or not true. And I have never, I don't think I've, in any of the videos since I've changed the name of the videos to 99th Monkey News, I don't think I've really fully explained. I've referenced this website, but in light of this potential for experiencing a shift in consciousness, and I won't even, that sounds so mystical and ethereal, maybe just, I would just like to call it, an experience of becoming more fully aware and beginning to reject some of the false paradigms and the false ideas that have made us prisoners. So this is the website that I reference in my, in the notes of this idea of, it's actually called the 100th Monkey, because that's approximately where the tipping point was. What happened is primates were being observed, just their behavior. And one of the primates, and I'm not even sure if they actually isolated the first one who did this, but they began to wash potatoes in seawater, and this improved the flavor of the potatoes that they were eating. Evidently this started among the younger monkeys, and then the adult washers learned from the children. In the fall of that year, something astounding happened. The exact nature of the event is unclear. One has to gather the rest of the story from personal anecdotes and bits of folklore among primate researchers, because most of them are still not quite sure what happened, and those who do suspect the truth are reluctant to publish it for fear of ridicule. So I'm forced to improvise the details, but as near as I can tell, this is what seems to have happened. In the autumn of that year, an unspecified number of monkeys on Koshima were washing sweet potatoes in the sea. Let us say, for argument's sake, that the number was 99, and that 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning one further convert was added to the fold in the usual way. But the addition of the 100th monkey apparently carried the number across some sort of threshold, pushing it through a kind of critical mass, because by that evening almost everyone was doing it. Not only that, but the habit seems to have jumped natural barriers and to have appeared spontaneously, like glycerin crystals in sealed laboratory jars, in colonies on other islands and on the mainland in a troop at Takasaki-yama. A sort of group consciousness had developed among the monkeys, Watson tells us. It had developed suddenly as a result of one last monkey's learning potato washing by conventional means. The sudden learning of the rest of the Koshima troop was not attributable to the normal one monkey at a time methods of previous years. The new phenomenon of group consciousness was responsible not only for the sudden learning on Koshima, but for the equally sudden acquisition of the habit by monkeys across the sea. Watson admits that he was forced to improvise some of the details, the time of day, the day of the week, and the exact number of monkeys required for the critical mass were not specified in the scientific literature. But by evening, or at least in a very short period of time, almost everyone, or at least a large number of the remaining monkeys in the colony, had suddenly acquired the custom. This is remarkable in part because of the slow and gradual mode of acquisition that had typified the first 5 years after Imo's innovation. Even more remarkable was the sudden jumping of natural boundaries, apparently caused by the Koshima miracle. This is widely known. This is out there in scientific literature. A negative behavior can be transmitted through the same means of a kind of a shared consciousness. So, of course, the hope is that, and even what Jon Rappoport was writing about, is that positive change comes, and that we, through telling people, sharing the truth that we find with other people, and changing our habits of, just being willing to be walked on by the government, being willing slaves, as we change that attitude, it happens for a while, it happens one by one, and we share with individuals. But at a certain point, we will reach critical mass, and virtually everyone will refuse to continue to be a slave, will refuse to continue to believe lies spoon-fed to us, and will begin to think for ourselves and just become more actively involved in what is happening around us for the benefit of ourselves and mankind, humankind. So I wanted to share that. As I said, I never have, and I probably will pull this out and make a separate video explaining why this video is called 99th Monkey News. And I have a sincere hope that we all will reach this point where everybody's aware, and then we can affect positive change.